What is up, buds? Welcome to Weed&d, the pot positive live tabletop role-playing experience. I am your dungeon master for the night, Brandon Allen McClanahan, but my buds call me Bam. Holy crap, buds, what a week we have had. We have been popping left and right. We did our live D&D show over at the Playhouse Theater, the Role Playhouse, and oh my gosh, what a fun time was had. Thanks to you guys that popped by, man. That was just such a treat. We hope you dug what we were putting down. We will be cutting together some content videos and stuff out of kind of just the fun of us putting the show together, on Saturday, and then just the joy, maybe, sharing it with you guys afterwards. So keep an eye out on our various socials. We are at Art Hard Studios on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, YouTube, youtube.com/ArtHardStudios as well. You can find us all over those various locations. We also have us a Discord where the buds are always popping, having a good time. Sometimes they play video games with each other, and sometimes they even play D&D with each other. So if you're looking to play D&D with a bunch of like-minded, awesome human beings, come on down to the Discord, hop into the D&D with Buds channel, and get some games going, because there's nothing that makes me happier than thinking that people are playing D&D because of some D&D that we have played. That is just chef's kiss. So, holy crap, I'm fine. I'm running on all cylinders right now, man. I'm so stoked to get into this D&D. And the only way for me to do that is to take this here joint, pass it through the magical fibers of the interwebs to my dear and wonderful friend, Brenna Folger. Hey, Brenna, how you doing, girl?
I'm doing great, Bam. I am so excited to be back this week. So excited to play with my friends. Brenna Folger here. You also know me as Prince Bruenor, the Serpent Slayer, the Shadow Dragon Slayer, the tiny Kraken Snackin', if you will, because I just got 8. And while I've been inside of this Kraken, I've been thinking about my favorite Star Trek captains. And man, I can't go like, I just love Jean-Luc Picard, man. I love his ass. I love him. He's iconic. I love him. I know that there's other ones and he's up there. And I know one person that's going to have an opinion, and her name is WeeDnD. What's up, baby?
Oh, I have opinions. My name is Jean-Luc Picard of the USS Enterprise. He's not my favorite.
Tea Earl Grey hot.
Tea Earl Grey hot. Gotta go with my girl Janeway. She was my first Halloween costume I chose for myself, and there is indeed coffee in that nebula. Okay? By the way, Kate Mulgrew's autobiography, Born with Teeth, amazing. That's for another day, though. Today, my name is WeeDnD, but you might know me a little bit better as Tynna Smoothhands. Oh my gosh, I just want to sink my teeth back into it. Let's get it. What is up with you, Drew B? How are you?
Oh, hey, thanks, baby. What up, y'all? Drew, Thoricus the dwarf, having technical difficulties, hot spot from my sorry if I'm lagging, you cocksuckers. Anyway, my favorite captain of the Star Trek universe, of which I know so little about. I'm gonna have to steal the original, who just recently held up a sign saying "Suck it, Picard." I mean,
he did go to space, yeah.
He made it.
Well, kind of.
I mean, but aside from Starfleet captains and whatnot, Bruenor's inside shiny version of a fucking Kraken. Let's just see what happens, kids. Best friend, I'm gonna need some help. Papa's had a nap or breakfast, but you got the guns sending it to you, bud.
Ooh, help is on the way, dearie. Thank you for always providing and dropping so perfectly. What's up, buds? Jake Daly here is Real, author von the level 11 Arcane Trickster Rogue, now Revenant. Gonna learn a little more about that as I learn about that. It's super fun. Thing I should have learned about before this episode was Star Trek. I'm pretty behind. I don't got much. So my favorite Star Trek captain is Captain Creefus. Guy had some missteps. We all stumble along the way, but I feel like he's got a bright path ahead. So good for that guy. Anyways, I love you, buds. And there's one more best friend who needs some of this weed. And that's my guy, Gus.
Oh, thank you very much, Jake. That's right. It is your boy, Gus Two Blunts Langley, playing Divot, the Revenant Bardlock. I am your buddy who is a decent guy who plays terrible people very often, and I enjoy doing it. All that being said, I'm about to make some enemies right now. Gwynnon should have been captain. Whoopi Goldberg. Fuck all those people. That's right. I said it. Over to you, Bam.
All right, look at that. Made it back. It has every single time. All right, I have deep thoughts on this. Unlike my cast of friends who have maybe let me down with their lack of knowledge of Star Trek in the previous 3 minutes here, I just feel like I've been a bad friend. Like it's on me to make sure that you guys know that fucking Sisko, baby, Deep Space Nine, hands down, best captain of them all. Now, Jean-Luc Picard is actually one of my favorite characters of all time. That doesn't mean that he's the better captain. And Sisko basically becomes a god eventually at the end of the show. Like, enjoy your Earl Grey tea, Jean-Luc. Sisko will be over here being a god. Also, don't sleep on Deep Space Nine. It is, in my opinion, probably the most rewatchable of the series to this day. It's still like, I really like Star Trek. What a surprise. Brandon's a huge nerd, but I am also a Star Trek nerd, and I'm a Star Wars nerd, and I like Lord of the Rings and Dungeons and Dragons. So, hopefully you're right there with us. But yeah, my answer is absolutely 100% Benjamin Sisko. And Avery Brooks, man. Oh, what an actor. I freaking love that guy. All right, dudes. Holy crap. Let's get into this D&D, but, in order to do that, we got us a little ritual that we like to do around here. Maybe you've heard about it, maybe you haven't, but we like to take a lighter like this In Pizza We Crust lighter. Make sure we're not going to light any of our friends, family, or household pets on fire and go. Lighters up. Ooh, let's play some fucking D&D.
WeeDnD, high fantasy, literally. So load up bowl and make a roll to take control. WeeDnD.
Oh. All right, guys. Holy crap. As always, huge shout out to the guy that does all of our original music, including that intro and all the music you hear throughout the show. Huge shout out to our man Sandy Stein, as well as just all the artists that have brought so much to this project, man. It's a great, it's littered all over the table. I know you don't get to see it, but it takes me there every time. So love you guys, love the artists, but most importantly, I love this game. And if you will please allow me to set the mood. When last we left the Ferocious Five, they were in the throes of a terrific battle with the Fey-corrupted Kraken within the chamber of the tier of the Primordials. Divot and Rial attempted to connect the magics within the powerful relic that, according to legend, was created after the Primordials gifted the world of Everendale to the races of men and wept a single tear when they witnessed what they had done with it. As waves of sorrow pulsated from the magical gemstone, Bruenor, Tynna, and Thoricus pushed on and confronted the beast. It was the voice of Queen Mab that spoke in return from within the creature, demanding that the five allow her to collect her prize after having helped them in the battle with the shadow dragon Exoneus. When pressed further, the corrupted kraken struck out at Thoricus, who had baited it with insults but could not incite the creature to leave its protective hole. Their attempts at diplomacy falling on deaf ears, they set to battle. The combined strikes of the blade of the Keeper and the True Strike blade, bolstered by the magics and swinging radiant mace of Tynna Smoothhands, kept the kraken at bay, while Divot and Rial deduced the nature of the containment rituals around the tier. At last, the thrashing tentacles grabbed Bruenor the Serpent in a flash, and she was swallowed whole by the tremendous monster. All right, guys, we jump back in. You know, you were all sitting in the subterranean underwater cavern beneath the great fallen kingdom of Elmira. You currently are engaged in battle. You know, you're in this strange chamber that was kind of dug out by the massive kraken, the true primordial that, you know, ejected the smaller blue kraken out of its mouth after a great strain. You know, you went through the cycled tunnel in the earth that went past the ancient library, one of the ancient churches of the civilization that sets underneath this one. And you're currently in a chamber with golden and turquoise tiles that spread all around this strange central chamber. At the center of the room is the tier of the primordials, this brilliantly shimmering purple, white, and silver orb. You know, like I said, probably about 20 feet wide, 20 feet tall, and perfectly spherical. It sits affixed atop this great pillar of crystals, purple, black, and pink in color, kind of grabbing onto and supporting this giant tier as it juts up about 15 feet out of the central ground, surrounded by rocks of you know, that have been left there over the millennia as this citadel kind of settled in on itself. But has now been redug out by this strange kraken creature. Currently, however, you know, Divot and Riao, you're both sitting with your butt cheeks pressed against the smooth sphere of magic, attuning to the magic frequencies within, but not trying to steer them in any direction. Each of you used your arcane mastery to kind of slide past the first magical barriers that prevent access to this great magical relic. Around you on the floor are the blue, electric neon blue runes that were placed. Again, Riao, you discovered through your arcana check, had been placed there by a circle of wizards a long time ago. The purpose of these runes, you guys deduced, was containment. These runes were placed to keep the tier of the primordials within these runes. Now, Divot and Rial, at the time, you guys had mentioned that you were going to try to change those runes to supplicant them with your own words and runic symbols to maybe try to alter the high magic that protects this barrier. So currently, you're both sit, your cold butt cheeks pressed against this smooth purple, white, silver orb, and you can't help but look over at the sight. You know, the glowing radiance of Tynna Smoothhands ushering out from all around her in 15 feet in all direction. You know, the rose petals that were ejected from her mouth that are part of the spiritual guardians that she currently has cast. Next to her, Thoricus, Onyxheart, you know, still kind of reeling at the sight of having watched Bruenor, you know, at the end of his assault. This tentacle snapped right past you, grabbed Bruenor, and hurled it in its mouth. The creature itself, the crystalline, fake, corrupted kraken juvenile, is currently kind of cornered in the southwest side of the room, you know, keeping its back to a wall, not really allowing you guys to get around it with any ease. And you see currently, you know, the big spinning spirals of sharp teeth that you now know can rotate. You just watch as Bruenor, her shield, her armor, her sword, and everything are just consumed by the kraken. Bruenor, you're falling into the esophagus of this creature. It's kind of like you're being pressed in by slimy, you know, throats and disgusting skin. You're being forced through toward the stomach, and then your head kind of pops out into the central stomach area of this creature, and you see a bubbling pit of blue acid. And you feel as the throat muscles and the swallowing of this creature are pushing you closer and closer to it. But Tynna, you hear the cry from within. What do you do?
If I may, I'd like to cast Sanctuary on Bruenor. Can I do that through the Kraken?
Okay, cast Sanctuary, because it's weird. Specifically, the Kraken's swallow ability says that you cannot be seen by line of sight from outside of it. So it has total cover against you. So if it only requires an area to take place, yes, you could. If it's a targeted spell that affects, you know, a single person.
Okay, that's good to know. It is a targeted spell then.
Okay.
In that case, I'm gonna approach the Kraken, just get even closer. I mean, I can't get much closer. I don't have a very fast swimming speed.
Kick those little halfling legs.
Exactly. The best I learned how to do in like the lake growing up. So I'm gonna approach trying to affect the Kraken more with this like slurry of rose petals like swirling faster and faster around me. But besides movement, I am going to I'm going to summon my spiritual weapon and take a swing.
Sweet, yeah. So it is a bonus action spell, so you'll still have your main action.
Yeah.
But go ahead and cast your spiritual weapon. I think it has the attack macro built into the spell, so that should take. So yeah, Tynna, what kind of weapon do you summon in this case? In the past, it's been a kind of a radiant scythe or another mace. It's been a few different things.
Yeah, I am gonna summon. To quote Thoricus, Trusty Dusty, Scythe Poo doesn't have a name yet, but I am gonna summon that scythe connecting to the Green Lady.
All right, so you kind of send that scythe out, almost trying to cut the mouth open, perhaps to give Bruenor a chance to escape. Unfortunately, with a 15 AC, you see it glances off the thick hide of this kraken. You see, it kind of like turns and looks at you. Now that spiritual weapon will still be there. You'll still be able to use it every round, activating a bonus action. But just for this first attack, it does disappear. Let me just see the description here. For a minute, so you have 10 rounds.
Okay.
So it's still floating there, but unfortunately its first strike did not hit. But you still do have an action.
Okay, well, in that case, I'm just gonna go manual on this one, grab my mace, and I think I'm close enough to try to chop a little bit.
Yeah, you're actually right in range. Even though you're only able to move 10 feet, you were only basically 5 feet away from it. So, you kick your little halfling feet as hard as you can, able to breathe through the magical aura of Bruenor, granted you by the shield, the Maiden's Board.
A 13.
That also, unfortunately, its AC is 16. So, you see the mace, the scythe slashes, the mace slashes, but it's the sight of Bruenor disappearing into the mouth of this creature. It's one thing when Divot uses magic and gets himself inside. It's a whole nother thing to watch your friend, devoured by a creature. You're also, again, your healing magics, Tynna, if she were like digested, your magics would not be able to, she wouldn't have a body.
Yeah,
so,
I can't undigest her.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, you're kind of like, oh crap, we got to get her out. Unfortunately, that fear is what prevents you. You're striking against the scales, but it doesn't seem to be making much headway.
Okay, that's the end of my turn, I guess.
All right, it's going to use another legendary action. At the end of your turn, Tynna, at the site, it knows that while you're on top of it, it's going to take damage from that ability. It can't throw you yet, but in order to do so, it's going to have to grab you. And so it's going to use its legendary action at the end of your turn. It has no more points left until its next turn. It used the other one to swallow Bruenor. But it is going to attack you. It has a plus 12 to hit. And 24 AC.
That hits.
So this guy's been rolling hot. I have to say, as far as my enemies that are always missing, it's this one's actually doing the job for me. So the damage on that Tynna is 17 bludgeoning damage, and you are grappled by the tentacle. You see it wraps around you. You can still see the two that you cut off are just kind of floating around in the water, the two that you severed that were grabbing onto Bruenor and Thoricus originally. But now one of the remaining 8 grasps around you. You feel it kind of crushing against your armor. You hear like some little pinks from rivets on your shoulder plates as it just grabs onto you. It's a hard escape DC. It is a DC 20 if you want to escape, and it would be an action to do so. But currently you are restrained. So it just means your speed is 0. You can still do all your other stuff.
Okay, cool.
But it does have other abilities that relate to having things grappled, as you've seen. You saw it throw Bruenor. When Bruenor came back, you saw it eat her. So, this thing's got some fun little stuff. So, all right, Tynna, at the end of your turn, again, that was 17 bludgeoning damage from that, and you are grappled, which if you're done, I believe that's the end of your turn, correct? Mm-hmm. We go to Divot. Divot, you're feeling the power rushing through each of your individual butt cheeks as they, kind of with the saggy skin. What a Revenant's butt looks like is something I feel should be tackled by some of these Weed&d artists. But I'm going to send out a special commission, just give me just what it would be. But that is pressed upon this orb of high magic, this relic of the Primordials with its deep and ancient history. Now you have somewhat attuned to the magic, Divot, but you are also now paying attention to the runes around it. What do you and Rial do?
Okay, so Rial and I had this idea that maybe we could use the containment spell to contain more than just the pearl. So I'm wondering to basically, the big thing I'm wondering is, I know that we don't know the runic symbol for Kraken. But this is a primordial thing that kind of transcends time and language. And I'm wondering if there's like a symbol for something this old that either of us would be familiar with. You know, like the yin yang transcends language. It's just a symbol that people all over the world recognize.
Correct. Yes. As vilely as so does the swastika on the other side. You know, it's like there are these symbols that will recreate, and you can only imagine that in magic it is the same way. You know, that you're getting that same, you know, it's the same, the symbology, the same symbolism has been used, throughout the crafting of these spells. So I'm with it, Divot. Now we had combined you and Rial into a bit of a team attack dynamic. You were both burning your guys' turns. Rial, you still have one after this. This was actually your last turn. And so through that, I would say kind of combining you are connected through butt right now through this magical conduit, as if, you know, magic is from one cheek to his, and through that shared knowledge I'm going to grant you advantage on an Arcana check.
Sweet. And as both of our butts are connected and getting past that first phase of the tier and actually seeing the primordials, like, can you imagine that experience, viewers, buds, like just seeing the old gods?
It's electric.
So I feel like there would be some kind of a hearkening for a symbol in my little unbeating heart at this point.
Yes, exactly. Perhaps, you know, gathering the information from the scene that you saw, you know, like just there it was, you know, he who burns, the Kraken, Melora the mountain, you know, as they all laid down and prepared to weep this tear, the three kind of the trifecta of natural energies that created the worlds that you walk upon, as well as some nameless others, but you know, those are kind of the big three. And what you witness. So, Divot, you know, you feel as Rial, again, you both have advantage and you both beat 20. So I'm going to say yes, if only because I'm extremely interested in what you're going to do. But yes, you know, as you both, again, kind of great call, Rial, as you both connect and see, you know, witness almost the birthing of a new world, you know, and the immense, you know, almost like a child, the care and the concern that the primordials had for this, you know, the firmament, if you will, that the world was put upon, and then the sorrow inherent in watching what became of it. Little more than people poking each other with sticks back and forth for millennia, you know, battling, never, always questing for power and you know, control. And even still to this very day, as you guys battle with this giant creature nearby, you can't help but look upon the primordial wasteland, the world before it was. And so, and in that, you see the great magics, you know, the sigil of the three waves of fire that represent fire throughout the many languages, you know, the orb that is water. And as you kind of look at those three, you see the trifecta of them come together. The three waves of fire, the orb of water, and the triangle of the mountain. And so you see this kind of like symbol built in front of your eyes as you connect to this ancient knowledge.
Okay. Hear me out, Rial. I think that he's not the fire guy and he's not the mountain guy. You're feeling these vibes that I'm feeling. I say we dip around to the other side of this thing so he can't see us. Whoever's got the better penmanship throws some fucking water signs down on that thing, and then the other one of us will prestidigitate this thing to smell like the finest fucking Kraken booty this thing has ever been around to attract that thing into this circle.
Let's do it. My penmanship's pretty good. How's yours?
Cool, I'll do the butt stuff.
Awesome.
All right, so I'm gonna allow this. So describe for me, if you will, how you want this to proceed, and based on said description, I shall set some DCs. It's not necessarily guaranteed, you know, it's like he also is a creature of will, and will have, you know, like any other spell effect, an ability to save against whatever you guys are trying to do, but let's paint that picture.
All right, word. Okay. Do you want to go first, Rial, or do you want me to?
I don't know, flip a coin.
I don't want to finish before you do.
Oh, you're so thoughtful, damn it. I swear.
Okay, same time. All right.
So what we're gonna do?
They both talk.
So I slip around to the other side of the ball, if I may, and I don't go the way that I avoid Real. I go the way that he is, and kind of like just roll over him, and then reconnect to the ball and slide around. And I think about what it was like being around Phil, a large, like impressive, mature Kraken. And then I think about this thing, and I'm like, this thing is smaller, but it's not a baby. This thing looks like an adolescent. I bet this is a horny Kraken. So I just like conjure up all of the like pheromones that I was picking up off of Phil, because I was making Phil laugh a lot. And I want to just like channel that into the mysterious, unseen side of this giant magical item to try to attract this Kraken. And also, like, you know, maybe the Kraken wants to look good for this like potential mate. Maybe it wants to, you know, maybe not be full of one of our friends at the moment that it meets this potential Kraken hottie. I don't know.
All right, Gus, I'm gonna meet you halfway on this one. So yes, you will be able, almost like a charm effect. Okay, so you will be able to try to use your, you know, again, you got pretty close with old Phil. You know, you guys were cracking jokes. You made him laugh. And again, Divot, your bardic magic has always attuned to laughter. And so these pheromones that you say you picked up on, I like that. I'm here with you, baby. So I do like that. Unfortunately, the swallowing ability that the Kraken has, it does have built into it ways to get it out. Now you don't know what those ways are, but that would be maybe just a little too powerful a whammy to also, while charming it, also be like, oh, and you know what it likes when you throw up first, and just to have it be like super into that. So yes, Divot, as your half of this team attack, I will say that first objective. There will, again, and this will kind of depend on what Real plays off of as well, but currently, yes, there will be some kind of charm element. You're going to attempt to lure this Kraken by appealing to its adolescent nature, you know, the clockwork orange within it, if you will. So, yes. All right, that said, Divot, your half of that is done, and Real, what are you doing?
All right, so when Divot kind of like moseyed past me to get on the other side, I saw that look in his eyes, like we know the cut of each other's jib. And we also saw our dear friend Bruenor get eaten by him. So, Real's weird shit. I'm gonna make him throw up one way or another. He's either gonna throw up laughing or by how bad this joke is. But I'm gonna cast some Tasha's hideous laughter his way. And then now that I'm in this revenant form, I'm kind of adjusting to it. I'm gonna use the throat fucker to like quietly slice off my pinky finger and do that trick before, you know, dipping over on the other side of the tier.
But are you actually cutting it off?
Yeah. I'm gonna hang on to it, but yeah.
I need it for things, but yeah.
All right. So yeah, this is 2 saves here. All right, from my end. I've got a save against the charm effect, and I've got, go ahead and hit me with your Tasha's. Oh, you did. DC on that's going to be what, 14, and it is a Wisdom saving throw. All right, now I like this. I like the idea. Now, Bruenor, you're not in the stomach yet. You're still in the throat. That's where we've left it in the narrative. Your little head is turtle heading out into its stomach, but you're not quite gone yet. So to this advantage, I like this. So, Real, let's see if somehow this young creature will be susceptible to this joke. It does have a stat, so let me. It was just double check for me, buddy. It was wisdom. Is that correct?
I believe that's what you said.
All right, here we go. Yes, wisdom saving throw. So it gets +2 to this. It rolled a 3. So all right. So yes, Real, you You see, you flicker at whatever the primordial humor would be, perhaps connected to it somehow through your butt cheeks pressed against the relic as you attempt your just, it made me laugh, cut your own pinky off, because you can reconnect it now that you're a revenant, and disappear behind the tier. You see the magics of Divot in front of you, you see as the great Kraken starts laughing. But something's in its throat, it's like when you get like a thing and it's like the sword is, it's in one of those. And finally, Bruenor, you are coughed out of the mouth of the Kraken.
Like our sweet little popcorn kernel, just stuck back there, just.
Yes, viscera and slimy, just lots of gross. You smell terrible, Bruenor, even in salt water. But yes, now Divot. Here's the big one. What's your spell save DC?
I think it's 18.
That's right.
Off the top of my head.
You got that big charisma. That BCE. All right. So.
Oh, it's just 18. Yeah.
Oh, that's all. That's it.
It's legal. It's legal.
All right, so here we go. Charisma saving throw. It gets +3 to this. All right, whatever. I'm gonna take the blinder off because this one's a big one. So no blinder. It gets +3 to this. DC 18. It needs a 15 or better.
No.
A 2! Yeah.
Wonderful.
All right. Divot, you start putting out the pheromones of a Kraken with just straight dumps in the trunk. Thighs like what?
What?
Huh?
Let's get Cisco on the show. He can't be doing anything right now.
That's
All right.
not how we get him to the show.
I'm so sorry. This works, Divot. You do manage to, again, you guys are connected to a powerful relic. There's some amplification, some team attack magics going on, but I like to play with what you guys are going for. You are going to draw this Kraken to within. Now it's going to trigger attack of opportunities from Thoricus, Tynna, and Bruenor. I will say, this creature is currently in a charm effect. Charms can be dispelled by damage sometimes, so you do what you want. I'm just saying that, it is currently under a charm effect. It's similar charm magics, so I don't know if I can if I can say that any other way. But it does move past you, so you all have the opportunity were you to take it. All right, Divot. You see it moves in. And it's kind of got a savage look in its eyes, almost as if it would be drooling from its sharp teeth, looking for a taste of that juicy. And it kind of starts writhing through and around, and it's now inside of this area. You see the blue tentacles as the creature kind of like looks down, kind of suddenly becoming aware of a little bit of what's going on, but not enough for it to kind of like escape or anything. It has been pulled in. So what do you guys want to do with these runes?
I'm not still grappled by it, am I?
Oh, you are still grappled by it.
Okay.
Thank you, Tynna.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, you see Tynna has also been brought inside with it. The laughter are able to expunge Bruenor from inside, but it is still in the grasp of Tynna. So
I'm so confused. So they're grappled. It's charmed. But what is it charmed by and why? Like, what the fuck is happening right now?
The effect that Divot's created, he basically baited a
Thor.
trap. He tried to convince it there was like some honey in here. And so he came in looking for it, using kind of a magical charm effect. The creature was now brought inside, so it is now near the tier, Rial, and Divot, and inside these runes. Now, what they were going to do from there, that's still up to them, actually.
Do I still have? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
The Cisco Thong Song Kraken thing that you're talking about is where the pearl is, or not the pearl, the world tier is.
Correct.
You're convincing
inside
me to
the
go to
runes.
that?
Yes.
Just catching up.
Yep.
Super high.
Yeah.
All right. So what do you guys want to do with those runes?
All right, Ria, we have a worst case scenario situation. My part of the plan worked, and this thing is here. So I say we both dive down to the runes and get that shit written as quickly as possible. I'll help you do it.
I was gonna say, if it saves us any trouble and holding up the severed pinky with the Mage Hand Legerdemain, I can just send that off to go write it out while we just hang tight on the, yeah?
Yes,
All right,
please.
sweet. So yeah, you guys kind of take a little bit of cover behind the tier. You use your own severed finger, controlled by an invisible mage hand, to go and scrawl some new runes on the ground. I like it. So the Kraken knows it's been deceived. It is not charmed, but it was charmed enough to be moved in here. It doesn't seem to be aware of what you guys are doing. So you've got it in there. It's still initiative. Everything's still going on. It is now closer to the tier, and so that is what was accomplished through the team attack of you guys. And while you guys try to write that rune, that would come up on your next action.
Man, Rial. So now, correct me if I'm wrong, but most of us are within the containment spell, but hopefully none of us are bound by it except for the Kraken. Correct. That was kind of the goal.
Yeah,
That's what we're
you guys, you were basically, because it's you have moved in and out of it to this point so far. You know what I mean? At no point, in the current state of things, you guys have moved in and out of it, no problem. So yes,
don't
you're trying to
autograph
basically
anything.
change
No
it
autographs.
so that the Kraken cannot get out.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So it's stuck in there with two of our close-up heavy hitters. Great.
All right. So Bruenor, you're kind of still floating around. You've got some little bits and pieces of the innards of this Kraken on you, but you've been expunged, and you're floating in the waters. You see the kind of gold and turquoise tile on the ground near you, the rigid walls that have been destroyed through time. Some once great civilization that little did you know was just buried underneath your own kingdom. But you're sitting in the chamber. You see the Kraken go with Tynna in tow into the middle near the tier of the Primordials. You see the runes. You kind of notice the scrawling finger of Rial's magic attempting to alter the scenario. But what do you do?
So none of this is recognizable to me as far as any of this tile or anything. It's
Give me a history check.
damn it, son of the bitch. It's it's fine. We're all just gonna have a history check together and be like, ha ha, history, hoo-ha, fun. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought was gonna happen. So because I don't recognize shit, I'm gonna push off the wall next to me with my feeties and shoot right towards that Kraken and try to swing at his dumb old tentacle to get Tynna free.
Sweet.
Okay.
All right, you're attacking the tentacle itself?
Yeah.
Sweet. All right, so the AC is 16. You are able to. I know there were some issues with controlling tokens, so I'm just going to scoot you over. But yeah, you're able to get up. I know it's a little weird, wonky, but you're able to get up to the tentacle that's holding Tynna. With a certain amount of damage, it will let go. All right, sweet.
Those 3 damages, I rolled a 20, a 24, and a 20.
Nice, and then you got 15, 21 damage. All 3 strikes hit Bruenor. Each slash, you still leave some of that coral. You have this creature marked, and as you kind of start hacking away at it, the damage threshold was 20, and you got 21. So, Tynna, you feel as the muscles that are crushing you kind of pop off of you as you pry the tentacle from you. You are now free. And you're Tynna, you need to make a concentration check for me. You might have lost spiritual guardians when you got hit.
Oh, she'll live.
It was 17 damage, so the DC will be it's a concentration check is your con saving throw.
Okay.
And then you just have to beat a DC 10.
Do I get to hit him again?
19.
He did strike Tynna, yes, because he attacked Tynna with his tentacle and you had him marked. You get a bonus action strike as part of your Cavalier training.
Okay. All right, 11.
Awesome.
Well, a
So
17 for 11.
that's into the breath of the like actually the beast itself. Here real quick, sorry, I forgot to factor in. And then another 11 damage. Very nice, Bruenor. You hack it, you first cut the tentacle off, and then you kind of turn Angerel. You see the coral kind of prying through one of your old sword strikes, giving you a pretty easy strike. You slide Angerel inside of it for an additional 11 damage. And some more coral starts growing. You're holding Angerel with the gauntlet. You've got the gauntlet that you guys pried off of the hands of Exoneus. You can feel a raw power humming from it. It is a very powerful magical item. You just have not yet had the time to attune to its frequencies. So even in this moment,
the time.
what's the time?
Such small portion.
But you see the skin around the gauntlet has mostly healed now. If you'll recall, it was burning through to the bone. But it's like the muscles have started to, you see that like raw pink baby skin, starting to finally regrow. You're getting that first layer of dermis. And and so yeah, but it's not burning through your arm anymore. But again, it's like you can't help but look at it as this sweet, gorgeously manufactured mithril gauntlet that just seems like it was almost made to hold Angerel. Now I don't want to make it seem like it was. It wasn't. It just fits perfectly with a sword that already strikes true to your purpose. And you just kind of feel these strikes, each one perfectly landing, even against the thick skin of the little fey corrupted kraken.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit him a couple times, and then I want to yell out like, Queen Mab, you're gonna do this our way or the gnarly way?
All right, you hear.
I immediately get that printed up on t-shirts.
Divots just hustling t-shirts in the game. 10 gold. All right, Bruenor, yes, you speak out, and this creature at this point, again, you guys have done some serious work to it. It's like the outcome seems to be in a matter of minutes, rather of seconds rather than minutes from determining either way. And as you call out, you hear the voice of Queen Mab respond, just so close. I'm so close. And you hear that same kind of sorrow that you feel emanating from the stone echoing through her own voice.
I feel like this might not be good for you. Hold on, and what did you mean that you help, like, this is your gift? I didn't even know you had anything to do with this plane until, like, just now.
You see, she replies, I recall you turning away my armies by the workshop. I witnessed you send away my guardian back to his icy home and out of my service. And yet I led the Primordial, gathered you within, took you across the deep oceans, presented you your own throne. All I wanted in return was the tear. You kind of see, Bruenor, as you're talking, coming from like the stomach of this great kraken, you see that like shimmering, pale, icy blue hand of Queen Mab. It's not quite there. It's more like spectral and almost, see-through, but reaching out as hard as it can, but it can't quite reach the tear. But you can see she certainly wants it.
What will receiving the tear finally give you? If your goal is to give people infinite sadness, then I don't think that you deserve it.
I seek not more sorrow, child. I have lived enough in my infinite lifetime. But with sorrow is power. I can channel the sorrows from within the ancient ones to build a new world. One where I can be free of my sister. One where sorrow is no longer a gift.
So this speaks to Bruenor because she's currently also going through some sister shit right now. So Mab is... you know what? I step back. All right, I don't give... this spoke to me. It spoke to Bruenor, and Bruenor pauses for a moment. having thoughts of like, I too want to stop my fucking sister. And what would I do if I was in this position where I needed to get something to stop her? And what if this is that thing?
And again, Bruenor, one of your biggest fears was the sorrow being unleashed. And it appears that, again, if she's to be believed, she intends to channel it to use for something. Like she needs the power from it. So, it's not, as you had first assumed, it's not that she is intending to unleash this sorrow, upon the realm of men, for instance.
Bruenor has one of her tantrums and starts yelling, I don't know who to fucking believe! I didn't know my sister wanted. I don't know what the hell this Exoneus shit's about. God damn it!
You guys see Bruenor just starts kicking rocks and stamping on tile and cussing and swearing. You hear some pretty vulgar language even for Bruenor. You see just some cutting elvish no words. Rial, your delicate sensibilities, yes, are struck. But you see Bruenor kind of like doesn't continue engaging with this beast after the strikes have been served. And that is what you see. Bruenor, do you have anything else on your turn?
That was it. That was going to be the rest of my turn.
Awesome. All 6 seconds of swearing.
Yeah. Just a tantrum, just losing it. Fucking doesn't know who to trust anymore. Family's turned on her. Everything's upside down. She's tired. She finally kind of understands Thoricus.
There's no mole eggs this deep in the ocean.
Fucking mole egg.
Although Tynna could probably find one. She's good at that.
I'll find some somewhere.
All right, so
sea moles exist.
Yeah.
It does not have any legendary actions left. I was going to have it use one, but it's out of points. So, boom, Bruenor. You're kind of cussing. You see, this strange moment that was kind of shared between you and the Queen Mab. To Quab, I am Quab. To Quab. All right, she's not a Quab. She's Queen Mab. You do sense that same, again, you are not wrong, Bruenor. The relationship, the issues, the spite, the deep emotional trauma that just transcends, your entire life and permeates, these bonds and frustrations you have with family. You sense that even in this kind of powerful being, this queen of ice and shadow. You do know very little about the going-ons of the Fey court, but that is something that you do immediately notice within her. And so it does appear that, whether or not you can believe her or not, you do feel like that shit about, if I can use this, I can slight my sister. That shit was true. That shit was true. So it is the Kraken's turn. My question to you all, as you see the pale blue hand of Queen Mab start materializing out of the stomach of this thralling kraken that floats in the waters before you, so near the shimmering magical tier of the Primordials, the basking light of Tynna floating around. You see the hand almost being cut by roses, and yet it continues to grow. Now you watch it grow beyond the length of a normal arm. You see it's almost as if the arm is never ending, just this long, pale, frail-skinned, twisted blue veins arm that just kind of stretches and stretches out of the core of this kraken. It is attempting to reach out and grab the tear. So, would you guys let it do that or not?
Yo, why do I want to let it do it? Like, I know we've been fighting this thing, but I can't get out of my mind that seared in message like a fucking tuna steak when they were like, you have to help Queen Mab. She's the only way. And like, this guy didn't come correct. He was starting shit. But maybe.
Yeah, something similar runs through Tynna. Like, she was already trying to reason with Queen Mab, and something just doesn't feel right about not letting her get this.
You can't help Tynna but be reminded of the vision of Titania's golden hand reaching out of the portal and blighting the dark heart of the mountain, and setting upon the blight of the Shadowfell into the realm of men. Again, it's like you guys know very little about this, but it does seem like strange that the quote unquote good one would be bringing about the Shadowfell into the earth, while it is Queen Mab's influence that seems to be bringing about the Feywild. So, it's like there is some weird balances at play between them. But what about you, Thoricus, Rial?
Best friend. Am I cutting in and out?
I'm getting you. It's spotty, but I got you.
Yeah. My connection is shit. I didn't pay my bill.
Oh man, I'm sorry. Shit. So, hey, remember when we were fighting the gingerbread men and that whole thing? So she's after this big ol' gigantic primordial tier. Do you want to let her have it? Or do you want to be cool and say no?
Oh, that was to me. Sorry, I'm just so used to hearing everything all the time from you. Should really hey, this is just to you. I'm just kidding. You know what, kids? Papa's gonna preach a little bit right now, and I know there was a song that was written that says "Papa, don't preach," but it's about to happen.
But I made up my mind.
I'm not sure what the outcome's gonna be with all this. We've been told things, we found out things, we've had good times, we've had bad times. We are great people, we are terrible people. The thing Papa's gonna tell you kids is there's always a fucking balance, always. I don't know what Queen Mab's intentions are, and I don't know what Titania's intentions are. All I know is I love you guys. There are 5 of us. There will never balance. One of us will always sway it just over the crest of one or the other way. And I don't care how it goes. As long as the 5 of us are in charge, things will never sway that much out of balance. Trust and love you guys to do whatever it is that we need to do. I've been around a long time and I'm tired of getting my heart broke by people who can't follow through with shit. I know that's not gonna happen with you, so Papa's done preaching. Get some breakfast.
Bowl egg.
I love you, best friend.
All right. You see the purple silver skinned hand of Queen Mab continue stretching out. Like I said, if it was a normal arm, it would have reached an elbow by now, but it's reaching down nearly 10 feet. You can't help but notice kind of a comparison in this color, in the deep sorrow that's present within the magic of the tier of the Primordials, and the same kind of purple magic that kind of pulsates through Queen Mab's skin, as if she herself is a force of great sorrow. And finally, you see kind of the kraken itself, the hand is emerging from. You see it floats neutral. The tentacles all no longer, coiled like snakes set to strike, but drifting almost similarly to Phil up top. Like a body kind of floating through space. You see it just drops down to a neutral. Then you see the hand reach out, and the fingertip finally touches the orb. And you just see this flash of bright light. It's so bright that you have to shield your eyes as you feel just waves of sorrow kind of pulsing over you guys. Now Thoricus and Bruenor kind of standing more outside of the containment runes. You know, the sorrows that wash over you guys are not quite as strong, but within the unfiltered by those same runes, Tynna and Divot and Rial, you are assaulted with waves of pure sorrow. You feel not only sadness of your own life, but the ancient, you know, the bloodline, the terrible atrocities committed by just man since its inception, this pool of violence and anger and, you know, salvation, hope, then crushed, like something so strong as hope to then be destroyed by this deep pit of sorrow that rests within this magical orb. The three of you are all just kind of stunned. You know, you're just caught in waves of abject sorrow as you see the orb starts flashing violently. You hear the crystal all around the base, you know, somewhat weakened from when Divot had cracked it with the shatter magics and the blades of Tynna's magic cutting away at the base. You hear this break as suddenly the crystal pillar that's suspended the tier breaks and sends shrapnel of blue crystal in all directions. You see as the form of this blue fey corrupted kraken starts absorbing into this one point of fixed light. And you kind of watch as the orb of the tier of the Primordials and the orb of magic that is this primordial creature infused with Queen Mab. You watch as the two orbs just push against each other. And at first it looks like neither will yield and they both begin to get wide in the middle. And then suddenly, like the popping of two balloons, the two energies fuse. You see this vibrant blue explosion of magic. You are all floating in the chamber. The runes die down. The tier is gone. So too any sign of Queen Mab. You know, Thoricus and Bruenor, you still have your devices about you. You can freely move about the waters, but it's as if all of this just extreme spectacle all just disappeared at a point, as you've seen Divot do so many times. And you do not know what Queen Mab intends to do with this, but you do know that you have just made a rather large bet that you all are able to stop what may come from it. And that's where we're gonna pick it up after intermission, guys, because holy shit!
Well.
Well.
Well, hi. The cat that says hi. All right.
Again.
Woo. Holy crap, dudes. All right. Wow. I love you guys. That was dope. We do us a little 10-minute intermission around here. As you can see, I'm a little frazzled. We like to fill up our water jugs. Make sure you're hydrating, buds. Drink water at home just as much as any other activities. It's very good for you, just all the time. It's great. Holy crap, we have us a 10-minute intermission. It's got all kinds of incredible fan art, some of the most beautiful stuff I've ever seen. That does make me weep. We have music by the brilliant Sandy Stein, played at the volume that you can properly appreciate it. And we do a fun little battle royale if you're on Twitch where your little guys will fight at the bottom. So sorry, you two guys, you don't get that. But on Twitch, there's little guys that fight at the bottom. You should come hang out on Twitch sometime. But we will be back in 10 minutes to, there's probably some aftermath to some of these decisions. So, I mean, everything's fine, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Everything's
It's fine.
Everything's fine. Welcome back, buds, to WeeD&D, the Pop Positive Live tabletop role-playing experience. Holy crap, guys. We like to have these big cosmic epic events, and we just got done with one. The Five have just defeated, the encounter is over with the Fey corrupted Kraken that was apparently doing the biddings of the Fey Queen of Ice and Shadow, Queen Mab. They allowed the Queen to take the tier of the Primordials, and they now float in a chamber deep beneath the city of Elmira. We jump back in, guys. You're still floating in this subterranean cavern, deep in the waters, now still smooth with saltwater taste rather than the smoke choke of pre-Exoneus's demise. The tile all around you, again, these runes no longer vibrantly glowing, have kind of laid back down dormant as if their purpose seemingly now is no longer prevalent. The tile around you stained, turquoise and gold, remnants of some ancient civilization that you saw some tidbits of as, you guys kind of pursued the creature down here. You're almost, smashed in the face with a crushing silence. This last few minutes has been nothing but giant primordial krakens devouring great pieces of the earth, the stone army being raised, the beams from the throne room in the realm of death, the kraken expelling this smaller kraken that then began tearing through the earth, and just this cacophony of extreme events. A wave of fatigue just hits all of you. You can't help but just let your bodies float for a moment, embracing the silence. But you are warriors, and there are things to be done, and you all kind of rouse about at the same time, floating in this cavern deep within the sea beneath Elmira. What do you do?
Are we still overwhelmed with that sadness feeling that...
The pearl being gone, as soon as those two spheres of magic converged and then disappeared to where you do not quite know. But as soon as the tier of the primordials was gone, the sadness itself, the magic forcing you to feel sad, is gone. But that sorrow was still felt. And so, it's like, yes, you're not magically being forced to think about sad things, but you kind of have a sad hangover right now.
Yeah, I kind of I feel almost like my eyes are puffy and like I'm dehydrated and exhausted. And I did notice that church when we were coming into Elmira, and I don't know, it's not, I would, that's kind of the thing I do. It's not my religion, but I just feel like a place of worship would ground me right now, and I don't know, maybe be a nice place for us all to rest. So I'm gonna turn to the rest of the group. We're all tired. I don't know if you guys noticed, but there was a place of worship. I think maybe we could either somebody accompany me over there, or maybe we could even rest up.
Coming off of this sadness blast, I can't even help it. As soon as once it stops, I just can't help but put Tynna in a huge hug, because one of the huge sorrows, when you experience all your sorrows at one time, but there was just one, Liana Leia Gallows, and that one stuck deep in my head. That's sweet, wonderful halfling that I lost, and I just can't help but, it's so quick, it's the resemblance, I just have to grab Tynna in a hug. She's always been the most comforting person. Even when she didn't even trust me, she always...
And I'm overwhelmed by the rapidness of your hug, and I am overwhelmed by emotion too, because I haven't trusted you for so long, but I've still had faith in your part of our team, and just to feel the connection and the trust, a couple tears are shed.
You see a little extra salt water added to the watery room around you. As, yes, Rial, this poor halfling woman lost when the Shattered Isles were destroyed by the Silver Rain. So, at the inception of this group of five, falling in the house of Sumner Milton, unable to be saved. And so, yes, you carried a small a loaf of bread from her for so long with you, and just the sight of this halfling woman in front of you, obviously you're aware it's Tynna, but just that desperation to grab on, you guys share kind of a beautiful moment. Tynna, I'm going to go ahead and turn off your spiritual guardian. You're like,
Maybe as that's fading away, it makes my tears like not bloody, but like a light pink.
Ooh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
But I will join you at the church. I'll be good this time, I promise. It's underwater.
Yeah.
You're not gonna burn it down?
Can't burn down an underwater church.
I think Rial would find a way.
All right.
I'm gonna go find Brian, and I'll meet you guys. Honestly, I guess I'll go to the library, even though.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't want to go to the church, so I'll be at the library waiting.
All
for
respect. That's all good.
But I gotta go get the Brian man first, too. And then Bruenor kind of just swims on, awkwardly, like. Okay, bye.
All right, yeah, Bruenor, this gauntlet kind of floating in your hand here, this connection, the battle, almost, you saw how perilously close to his demise Brian was in that battle. And so, kind of that, while this sorrow, ruminates within all of you, what better than your long, endearing ally of Brian the Dracodile. You kind of basically just float up. It's like you guys came down into this chamber through that big ink field that the Kraken had let out. It has long since dispersed now that the beast is no longer present. You see the big chambers that kind of open up in front of you on either side. Like I said, and this kind of speaks to the realm of fantasy worlds in general. It's like the existence of these magic items that are in these great ruins and stuff around the world indicates that it's like almost buried underneath each world, this new cycle of conquering and destruction and leadership, and that same thing that the Primordials indeed wept about, is present even in this moment. Bruenor, you not to say that you're the best at history, but even you can't help but be struck by the fact that this is a kingdom underneath the city here. The kingdom that birthed the stone army that you breathed the life into with your combined magics. And so, as all of you just kind of take this moment and start floating your ways up, and you see again, just kind of basically to your right and left. To the right, there's this great library. You can see all these just like water-rotted books floating around and stuff, but it seems every building in this place looks like it had gone through some cataclysmic event, earthquakes or tsunamis. I mean, like everything is brittle and broken, and even though the architecture is clearly beautiful, this city clearly went through hell. And so it's like looking at the wasteland of an after civilization, and you do notice the signs and symbols of both a library to your right and a church to your left. And Bruenor, you're able to go up. Brian's still hanging up near the top of the rim, as you had informed him, not wanting to risk him once more. You see he quickly spots you as you kind of float up the chamber, and you see he just kind of swims up to you and shares a deep sigh with you. I'm gonna switch you guys over to the other map real quick.
Ooh.
Because my beautiful squares on this map. I remember last week I complained that I was like, I'm sorry about this map, and then it's like, well, here we are again. But this time, boop, there's no thing here. I'm gonna shift ping you guys kind of where we're at. So yes, just to kind of get the notes on who's where. So some of you are going to the library, some of you are going to the church, or are you all going to the same location?
I'm definitely going to the church with Rial, but you guys wanted to check out the library, right?
Yeah, I got a wild hair about a couple things I want to look into at the library.
Yeah, maybe the Bright Man and I will check out the library. Where are you gonna go, Thoricus?
I guess I should learn how to read at some point.
Well, you read many dragon penis books, but perhaps they were all pictures.
Braille.
Pop-up books.
Yeah.
So sorry.
I mean, we just went through a great battle, and this is in a that's on top of a ruined, even more forgotten kingdom. Wars that were fought usually have treasures or weapons or something that were supposed to turn the tide of battle and either weren't wielded properly or they were supposed to in the first place. So I would maybe like to look around and see what kind of splendor we can find in these forgotten kingdoms.
All right, Thoricus, do you want to like check other places while they're doing those? I'm just wanting to make sure that I'm clear. Or do you want to like look for loot in one of the places that they're going?
You know, throughout my life, I've been looking for loot in all the wrong places.
Don't tell the dice
before
that.
we split up, oh, sorry. Go ahead, Thoricus.
No, you. Please.
Before we split up, pop open that bag and give me that belt. I want to figure out what that shit is.
Ooh.
Yes, the belt of Exoneus. You know, you reach to Krampus's sack, kind of hold your hand out. Remember, you have to kind of think of what it is you want to draw out, and you pull it out. Again, it you know, as magical belts are wont to do, it does. You know, you saw it transform in size from his frame when he was the humanoid form of Exoneus, and then the massive draconic frame. You notice as you pull it from the bag, you know, it is a belt no wider than any of your frames. So it does certainly, you know, it's a magical belt that basically affixes to its wearer.
And I do not put it on. I just put it over my shoulder.
Dope.
Yeah.
Like it.
Ooh.
Like the new heavyweight king. All right, so yeah, so Thoricus, were you? Which way were you going, or were you just looking at some other buildings?
You know, Bruenor's gonna up and find. I can go out a little bit, search around. I know, you know, architecture and where things of value might be stored in certain places, and then we could all meet up at the library and learn how to read. So
sweet. All right, so our groups are Rial, Tynna, and Thoricus going toward the church, and then Brian, Bruenor, and Divot going to the library. Is that correct?
Sure.
Did I get that wrong?
I just said I was going to go and look around for treasures and
that's right. Okay, sorry. Yeah, it just broke up a little. So yes, we'll do this. We'll do this in order here. Actually, Thoricus, you know, you watch as you see Tynna and Rial are obviously like having some kind of shared experience. Their exposure to the sorrow of the tier has strangely bonded them as they've come out of the shared experience. You know, you see Bruenor and Brian with their own things. Divot, you know, in his own way, just kind of grabs the mat, just starts walking away. You know, he's so freaking cool. And you, Thoricus, you start looking around. You know, you kind of start piecing together. You know, like you're trying to tell the story of this battlefield that you see before you. You know, you can tell natural disaster is what struck these buildings, but was that before or after some fall, some war? You look for signs of battle, and you don't seem to see any, but you do start noticing the going-ons around the buildings, like large crates and barrels broken open, almost as if perhaps this city was under siege. Like they were surviving, you know, perhaps that the remnants of the city were choked out through time rather than the brute force of the end of an axe. And so putting those pieces together, you start thinking, it's like, okay, well, in that case, stockpiling becomes very important, you know, and you know, in wartime, you know, so you start just running the numbers. As far as that goes, give me an investigation check.
You got it.
You got it, dude.
You got it, dude.
Investigations.
Ooh. Should have gone to church.
How can I help? Should have gone to church. Should have prayed for like bringing light.
All right, so we're actually gonna do this pretty.
Give me a library check.
Give me a library card. Haven't studied hard.
Oh.
Maybe making church checks.
Church.
So Thoricus, you find what you're looking for. You see some building that's mostly collapsed now, but you can see that it was heavily braced. That at one point, it may have been heavily defended. You see great pieces of lumber that perhaps held up braces to hold the door off and stuff. It's got all the right pieces. And you walk in, you kind of like push some of the wood away, and you're looking around. Again, no signs of bodies. You don't really see artwork or anything. It's almost like all these buildings are mostly empty, except for these like boxes and little piles of linens and cloths and stuff that lay around. And, as is the case in a siege that continued to its end, it appears that, like, whatever was remaining in here of good value was depleted by the people within. However, roll me a 1d100.
Nice. Ooh. Do it.
And then roll me a 1d10.
Interesting.
All right, sweet. So you're kind of like going through these barrels and boxes looking for any potential like things left behind. Weapons. Why no weapons? You see all the signs of conflict, but no weaponry to be found. Perhaps other grave robbers. You don't even know how old this civilization is. But as you push back the kind of soaked wooden splintered box to the side, you push it away. You see this small black stone. It's a little jet. I'm sorry, I just want to make sure. That's it. Yes, it's a jet. It's a gemstone. It's a 100 gold piece gemstone. It has its own value, but it's literally, it's almost like finding the last grain of what was left. At the bottom of the empty sack, you find this one small gemstone, jet black, deep opaque black stone. But it is valuable. It's worth 100 gold.
Damn.
Sweet. Yeah.
Divot, you're walking up, you hear the swishing of Brian and Bruenor. They just move faster than you underwater, so it's pretty easy that they kind of catch up. You guys are walking toward these twin pillars, this great gilded doorway now collapsed, but you can only imagine how beautiful this arch was originally. These large pillars on either side with this elaborate stonework of leaves. And Divot, you actually notice there's like just straight up magic runes inscribed on the very building itself. You're trying. Actually, give me an Arcana check. Perhaps you can understand.
Hit you with that Tex Arcana check. Howdy.
Arcana. Me as well.
Howdy.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
see?
Bruenor, you are of elven nature,
right.
so.
That's the library.
Bruenor, you're just kind of looking at it. You can't quite, make out anything of real note. Divot, as you're kind of looking at these symbols and runes, again, having just only recently been, refining your own rune work, you notice that the runes across the gateway say, "Blessed be of transference." So that's the kind of the runes. It's like blessing of transference.
Mm-hmm. So that makes an impression on me, but I'm not exactly sure what it means yet. I will admit to Bruenor in this moment, though, that I know what this belt is. That was a ruse. I was actually coming here to see if I could find out what's going on with Brian and his part in all of this. Like, I feel like he's here for a reason, and I'm looking through this library for like any kind of song or prophecy, or like it rings a bell to me for some reason.
Yeah, well, okay. I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, I think I want to help. And if Brian, you want to help shed any light on this?
Because we can communicate. We can all communicate.
You can.
Yeah, with your
Which is
beautiful
rare
voice.
for him.
Yes, Divot. What do you have to ask? I shall do my utmost to answer.
I just feel like you have a very big part to play in all of this. And I don't like not getting top billing. But I can tell when I'm in the presence of a real star, Brian. And I don't want to put too much on you, but I think you are a very important piece of this jigsaw puzzle.
You are not wrong, Lightning Dodger.
Get out of here.
Smoke to Brian.
Schwim.
We've committed to this voice and there's no going back.
For Brian.
To Brian.
To Brian.
So Brian.
To the Brian. Man.
To Brian.
Whatever, I'll hit this too.
To Brian.
To Brian for Elmira.
Kermit the Frog is watching right now, like,
What the fuck is this?
Oh, son of a bitches.
That's offensive.
How dare they?
Whoa!
Ray Romano's mad too. Like,
Deborah. Deborah. Hey.
Oh.
Oh no.
Wow.
Oh, man.
All right.
I love it.
You guys are funny.
You're funny. I like that. All right. So yes, Divot, you hear, Brian respond.
You are not wrong, Lightning Dodger. I learned from Kurtlemak the truth. That you are not the five of the prophecy. That we believed a lie.
Come on.
Whoa. Can I hear this?
Yeah.
I can hear this.
No,
Okay.
actually, this is
Yeah, I would.
telepathic. I'm sorry.
I'm just looking at both of them like, what the? Yes? Hello?
So like I'm repeating all of this as we're saying it, so that Bruenor's in on it.
Do you do the voice too?
No, I feel like it's racist for me to do the voice, so I just I'm like he says.
Okay, yeah. Well, he did kind of communicate that to me, in a way. And I think I told you guys kind of about that. Did Kurtelmock know anything else about that, or was it just like, you're not it?
The knowledge was wiped from your mind by one of the stones of the luck blade.
So the luck blade that you guys found, if you recall, had three riveted holes, and in one of them sat a stone that would give you the power of a wish. Now Shren Oldbuckle's slippery fingers made off with it after being kicked off of a cliff dopely by Rial. But this mention of a second use of the luck blade might shed some light on what those other two wishes may have been used for.
Yeah, explain that.
It was no accident. You were to believe you were the five for the true Shekinda prophecy to play out.
Well,
But it sounds like we still have a part to play in all of this. Brian,
Indeed.
No, go ahead, sorry. Sorry,
Indeed.
sorry.
You have already played your part. The Queen, her sister, Archias, the Silver and Purple King, are the four of the five that I know of. One of you is the fifth, but I know not which.
oh no. Okay. Well, so that
Bruno.
means that. Yep. What?
How many magical items do you have?
I have a shield, and I have a sword, and I have a gauntlet, and I have my friends.
But you're not attuned to that gauntlet, right?
No, I have no idea what this is gonna do to me.
All right, well, we're in the library. Maybe we can figure out what it does. I hand the belt to Brian.
You would like Brian to equip the belt.
I'm not a muscle and bustle kind of guy. Bruenor's tapped out, and I don't know, I like the cut of his jib. And it would match his outfit.
Sweet. All right, so similarly, Brian will have to attune to it as you guys would. So it'll be part of a rest, but you see, you kind of size it, you see it magically sized as to whoever attempts to wear it. But gosh, does it look good on him, It's like you can't help but notice just like it slides on perfectly. Again, you just saw this wrapped around the massive frame of a shadow dragon, and there's just something in the look of Brian, Again, this wisdom, this ability even to communicate with you all is so new. He is an evolving creature, some of that evolution forced through the actions and things that he ate that...
Yeah, I appreciate him as an ally. He has not had to be the crocodile, the dracodile that he has been, and I appreciate him. So I give it to him gladly. And I tell him that if he plays his cards right, he's got some piping hot penis coming his way too.
Oh, yes, my favorite.
He does love penis.
All right, yeah, you see he kneels, and kind of allows you to place the girdle around him, and it fits to his frame tightly. And yeah, again, it's like he could feel the humming magic power through it. You see a sense of acceptance in his eyes. Now that he's starting to evolve to these levels of thought and knowledge, it's like he's becoming aware of his place within this group, and it's all the weight and heaviness that comes with a developing consciousness and a developing mind through this evolving, now pseudo-magical creature that has gone through all this with you guys, and the fact that you gave him this belt, Divot, you see that pride, that you can only remember the last time you saw Brian so proud was when he was running through, and he had his fake dragon wings on his back as the children chased him and couldn't catch him, and it took Real Othervon to catch that greased up crocodile.
I started humming the version of our song where I finally included and Brian.
Yes, as the great song, this constant evolution, this project that Divot has worked on through his time. What better way than a bard to help pen his own song? The inclusion of Brian and the realization of just how much of everything that you guys have done together to this point has included him in pretty major ways, including just the protection of him. And so, yeah, you have this kind of connection with Brian. Divot is, standing in front of the library, and you see Brian kind of kneels and looks up to you, and is feels pretty proud in this moment, but also is just kind of looks behind you and at the library behind you, and just kind of is, it's like, do we intend to go back to the group or should we press onward?
I feel like we should press onward because Brian knows how to read, so I'm gonna need this help.
No problem.
Just saying, you're the best, you're my thick wiggly boy, and also you're my thick wiggly literate boy. So, let's, I kind of do little shouldies, let's all get on into that library, buddy.
Yeah, you see the big hap. Oh wait, where we got it? We got it. The big happy Brian, boom. You see just the joy returns to him again, kind of this unification of being part of the group once more. You all kind of rabble-rouse with each other and enjoy a good reconnection as you turn and look upon this library that sits behind you.
Figure out what this fucking glove is, Bruenor.
Yeah, and I high-five Divot with it.
And I'm like, ow!
Yeah, Divot, you can feel there's like humming magic coming off this gauntlet. It is a very powerful item. So yeah, you guys, you see the library behind you again. The kind of archway that led into it has long since collapsed. You almost have to push through some fallen debris just to like get into the main chamber of this room. And you look around. It's pretty elaborate as far as libraries are concerned. But similarly to what Thoricus was noticing as he went through, it's like you see all the structures of bookshelves, but no books upon them, and no tables or any of the other trappings that may lead you to some knowledge of the life that once lived here. All of that seems strangely gone, other than like tattered bookends that kind of float around in the water nearby, but none of them actually on these shelves themselves. And you kind of look around. It's like, not a lot of books in here. And you see this little pinpoint of light kind of appears at the other side of the room. And you hear a voice. Who comes to Eternus? Who seeks the transference? State your name. State your purpose.
I'm all about that shit. May I, Bruenor?
Just have fun, have a blast.
We are Bruenor, the Serpent Slayer, the Gloved One, the Hype Lord of the Undersea. And I am your resident Revenant Divot, the Lightning Dodger, the Agent of Death, the Death Dealer, the General Awesome Payer of Debts Owed and never wrongs anyone. And this is Brian, your future Overlord.
See Brian's wings kind of pop up as he attempts to back up your story. The light kind of shimmers brightly. And then in a way that it's like hard to describe how quickly it suddenly comes to you. There is a shimmering visage of this armored figure, kind of like bucket helmet knight, long white cape that flows off of big heavy silver pauldrons, but he's basically see-through and translucent. His gauntleted hands are wrapped around the base of a massive two-handed sword that kind of just shines beneath him.
I am now standing behind Bruenor.
You are, you see Bruenor's feel a little push from behind you as Divot slides back. You see this figure just kind of summons up to you. State your name. State your purpose. Who seeks the transference?
I seek, what is this?
You see shimmers. And for a moment, the kind of bucket helmet kind of like tilts down and looks at his own gauntlets as they rest upon his blade. Is that your wish? Your request? To know the truth of your gauntlet?
Hey, Divot, is that what that was?
It was, but he's making it weird.
It's so weird right now. You know what? Fuck it. Yeah, that's what I want to know. What is this?
Yes.
What is
The glove fit?
What is its purpose?
All right.
Yeah.
Bruenor, you see he floats back and turns. His hands stay affixed to the sword that floats in front of him, and then another set of hands kind of like comes out of them, and you see as both hands grab a book that just appears as he grabs them off of the bookshelf. You see he opens 2 tomes with each hand. You see the pages turn without his fingers moving them. He closes both books, slides the tomes back onto the bookshelf, and they disappear. You see he floats back, and both of those hands, Bruenor, present to you a fruit. Consume this, and you shall know. You see his hands pull away and the fruit just floats there. Looks like a little peach.
Oh my god, this guy is Google.
Well, listen, here's the thing though, Bruenor is overwhelmed because I don't think she's ever seen anybody read that fast. So impressed. She's not, whoa, she's killed a shadow dragon and a bunch of other shit, and yet she's like, holy shit, did you see how fast that guy can read a book?
2 books.
2 books at once. Wow, that is so impressive. Wow. And while she's talking, she takes it. I want to break it, and can I break it in half and give half of it to Divot? Because it's just fun. I love to share with my friends.
Yeah. You get the little gem of truth within, but of course, you got to share your peach with Divot.
Yeah, I share with Divot and with Brian, because I'm like, check this snack out, yeah.
So each of you, gets a little piece. Divot, you just eat no questions, eats his.
Yeah,
Brian eats his as well. You can never stop Brian. Bruenor, do you eat yours?
Sure.
All right, you kind of, as the fruit, enters your mouth and you taste the sweetness, suddenly you feel like your focus is drawn out of your face, pulled through your body, and exists in this gauntlet for a moment. And you see almost like a book turning pages as ages past go by. And you see Bruenor, your hand removed from the gauntlet. Exoneus' hand slid into the gauntlet. Warriors from forgotten plains and realms far away as this gauntlet has made its way through all the way back to the Primordials. And so you see this gauntlet is affixed on the hand of a wizard whose face is kind of gaunt with this long black goatee. And you see, standing there as you're like starting to become aware of the visualization of this person. This is Ergon the Archmagus's hand. You see the longtime tormentor of Rial, the ghost that you guys had fought at one point. But you see him standing where you just were, holding the gauntlet in his hand, casting the runic rituals that sealed the tier beneath the city. You're looking around in this vision, and you look to your right, and you swear that Rial is standing next to you. But Sithesis, 2,000 years ago, dressed in the same wizardly robes, set around a circle of 4 other mages. There's 6 of them in total. But 2 of them the others just look like gaunt, dark faces that you can't, place. But it would appear that the ritual cast by this gauntlet connected to him 2,000 years ago. You see the gauntlet, the life of this magical item, and you suddenly, without having to spend the time during a rest, instantly attuned to it, Bruenor. Bruenor, this is a gauntlet of power. While you have it, and you are immediately attuned to this, so all this comes into play right now. You get +2 to attack and damage with any weapon that's wielding while you're wielding this gauntlet. You also get +1 to your armor class and saving throws. Okay.
What's the catch?
This has quite a few things to it, guys, so just bear with me. I will also copy paste this into chat to help accommodate. It has 20 charges on it, Bruenor. Okay, every day at dawn, or every 24-hour period. Obviously, the sun is stuck in the sky right now. You roll 2d8 +4. You get that many charges back. You can use 1 charge to add a d6 force damage to an attack from the glove. You just pop the charge, add an extra d6. Or for 15 charges, you can cast Disintegrate. Both you and Thoricus have tasted the burn of a good Disintegrate. Just to remind you, 10d6 +40 force damage. But it's 15 charges, okay? You wouldn't be able to do it like more than once in any period, and you would have to roll pretty hot to get it again soon. This last thing, don't worry about writing the ins and outs of this down, Bruenor, because it's super technical, but it's also awesome, and I want you to know about it. You can choose, while wearing the gauntlet, to destroy it. You break the gauntlet through the force of your will, and there is a massive explosion. You have a 50% chance that when that explosion happens, you teleport to a random plane of existence and are not struck by the explosion. Everything within a certain amount of feet away from you takes a ton of damage. So if it's 10 feet away, 8 times the number of charges in the staff. If it's 11 to 20 feet away, 6 times the number of charges in the staff. 21 to 30 feet away, 4 times the number of charges in the staff. So everything within 30 feet's taken, if it's fully charged, 80 damage, up to 160 damage if it's right at the source. Now you take 16 times the amount of charges if you don't teleport away.
Oh, shit.
Okay, so then that's a 50% chance. That's called the Retributive Strike of the Gauntlet of Power. So this is truly a very rare magic item. Short of the legendary tier of the great, Holy Avengers and things of the like. This gauntlet sits just under that tier, about as powerful a magic item as anybody near your level would encounter. So, like I said, I'll copy paste all that stuff over to make it easy. But yes, you become instantly aware of all of this knowledge and how to use it. Like you're just like, oh, and then if I want to, and it's like you can almost Thanos gauntlet snap it to make it just like blow up.
Cool. Tight. So because Brian and Divot ate it with me, do they also know this now?
Yeah, you guys are actually, you know the exact same. You're just not, like, it's not you guys don't have the gauntlet, but because you shared the fruit of that knowledge, you're all aware. It would be funny if all three of you only knew a third of that and then now had to tell each other.
I mean, thank you for not doing that.
You're welcome. I don't think any of us wanted that.
The entire rest of the episode is us just relaying that information to the two of us. Cool.
Oh, man.
Wow. Okay.
So, the shrouded figure in front of you, glowing, says, "The transference is complete." And you see the ball disappear back to the end of the library once more. And then it goes out.
Oh. Fucking hell yeah!
I like dap her up with the thing. And I got a weird vibe from that guy because I'm kind of attuned to the dead a little bit. And normally a spirit or whatever, because this is not a person, normally a spirit wants to move on or whatever. This spirit seems very content being in this library.
Yeah, you're not wrong. And even just like it showed no fear. It showed only kind of a dedication to a purpose that, again, you've kind of looked at the runes. You've now seen this ritual. This being, this something is this transference ritual. In this case, the transference was the knowledge to Bruenor through the relic of this item. Now, what that transference could have been, that tickles the inside of your brain. Like, oh, what else could we have tried? But the light is now dim in the library. Mm-hmm. But you are right. There was no longing to be freed.
Yeah, so I feel no guilt towards this spirit and just like leave it there.
Awesome.
Nice.
So as you guys kind of sit there and have this 4-hour experience with that guy, we switch back over to Rial and Tynna. You two are approaching this strange church. That's you can tell. I mean, it's like churches forever have had this synonymous look. It's like just like in our world today. It's like there's a very large pillar. Some of it is broken away, but like a great tower still stands. You see the great welcoming wooden doors that mostly splintered and shattered. Some of the supports of the buildings have fallen down, but a place of reverence. Tynna as a cleric, it's like you just. That's church. That probably over there's church. That thing down there, that might be a church. You can't help but feel connected to this strange religious energy. One that you have not seen before. You don't see any religious symbols that you're familiar with.
Oh, okay.
From the outside.
From the outside. Well, I wanna enter further and see if I do recognize if I've heard of this religion or this gathering before.
All right, so. You similarly to Divot and Bruenor, you kind of have to like push a little bit of the rubble away. Again, this city has been through hell, and even though you know this is a place of reverence, you can only imagine that it didn't fare well through the attack. You push aside a great stone. Rial, you kind of help brace off a little piece of wood, and you guys kind of come through into this main open chamber. You look around, and there's still some broken pews. As far as like signs of previous life, this is probably the most that you've seen in your time down here. But you see empty pews, mostly broken and splayed across the floor. Some of the wood from them has been pulled to make braces against the doorway that now sit collapsed under broken stone. You look around, and Tynna, go ahead and give me a religion check.
Yeah.
As well, Rial, you would also be welcome to do so.
Well, I shall, but before I do that, before I get full on in the church, can I philander just for a second?
Oh yes.
Awesome. So I saw Thoricus swim off. I know what he's looking for. So if I can tune into my buddy, I'm seeing all this crazy archaic elven architecture, and I just think of the old thing. My elven dad never had a mom, so my old elven dad said,
"Never did."
The floor that you're under, the floor that be under, be the treasure you plunder. I want to sending stone that to Thoricus. Like an old elven thing that my dad always told me. And then I'll go in the church.
Thoricus, give me another investigation check.
and we'll see how shitty my religion check is.
Oh!
Get out of town.
Wow. You're better than me.
Baby.
No, that's not me. That's best friend.
Awesome. Reala crits.
My
Real
hits,
crits.
my hits, hits, my friend.
Real author. Crit through. Shit. Ooh. All right, so choose it. Yeah, Thoricus, you still got to give me an investigation check. Real, you and Tynna, kind of looking around the inside of this chamber with that dope 22. You guys kind of start looking around. You're not familiar with the symbols of this religion, but the language is that of the Eladrin people. And Real, you spent some time in the Cloister of Trees learning of the Eladrin people, the precursor to the Elven race, and so you are able to make out. Again, you're not privy to the knowledge that Divid and Bruenor are, but the god of this would be known as Eternus.
Huh.
So you see, symbols around you of birth and re-life, cycles and similar religious markings upon like the gilded mosaics around the walls that, a bunch of the tiles are missing out of from just the falling down of this building. But you guys are able to piece that together, that this is a church of Eternus. And you do, Tynna, you do not, having now been on both sides of the spectrum, you do not sense an evil presence from this religious place.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I can't read Elvish or anything, so I see them and I have to kind of turn to Real to be like, what is this? What's going on here? But yeah, we piece it all together. I just kind of want to make my way about the church, see if there is like a center part of it, like where either like the pulpit or like a cleansing area.
Oh, totally, yeah. So.
Yeah.
Almost like, as you're looking in the main chamber, up where the priest would speak, based on just your knowledge of churches, there's almost, it's like this little, it's like I don't know the name for the thing you wash your hands in at a church, but it's like a little wash basin well. I'm forgetting the
holy water thing.
Yeah, with some holy water.
Basin
yeah, where you wash it.
Happy Halloween.
Yes.
Basin Voorhees.
Like a font. Or like a fountain, a font, something. Yes, you see. There's this kind of like somewhat broken. Pieces of it are missing, but you can imagine that at one point, the holy water would spill from the top and fill the next and fall, and it's like even in the basin here, there's still you see some like shimmering. Even though again you're underwater, you see almost like oil in water, a shimmering pool of this cool blue water that just kind of is gathered in the basin.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to just take my fingers and just sort of like rub it on my hand and cleanse myself and maybe my face a little bit, catch my reflection in the glisten. And then I want to turn and look at Real. And when I do, I'm reminded again that we're not done. And so I'm going to cast Scrying if I can into like this holy water basin.
That's right. Okay. Yes.
And I want to see what Shalefist is up to because we need to know.
All right. So Scrying is it's got a lot to it. So it's 10 minutes to cast the spell.
Okay.
Go ahead and hit me with it because it's got like they get to make a save. There's like modifiers based on how well you know them. Now you, Tynna, do not personally know Vegeta's Shalefist.
No.
So you wouldn't get any of the sweet boons of here we go. All right, casting time 10 minutes. Particular creature that's on the same plane of existence as you, which he is.
Nice.
You've got holy water. You see all right, you can see and hear a particular creature that you choose on the same plane of existence. It gets to make a wisdom saving throw, which is modified by how well you know the target and what sort of physical connection you have to it. If a target knows you're casting the spell, it can fail it and let you see it. So if you were, peeping in on somebody that maybe was a friend or ally, perhaps they would just let you see them. In this case, that would not be the case. The knowledge, you don't have knowledge, so your knowledge would be secondhand. it would get -5. You don't have like a possession of his on a successful save. The target isn't affected, so he will get to make a saving throw.
Okay.
You begin. You have seen, but you just shell fist once.
Yeah, and I really want to channel the anger of Thoricus, because I can feel his hatred almost all the time for specifically Shalefist. And so I just like...
Me and Rial feel him too hard because of the beating in our chest as well.
That's true, yeah. And you've got Rial with you, and you guys are kind of connected in this moment. So, you know what? I actually like that. We will give you, in this case, rather than second hand, you'll get familiar. So there's no negative modifier for you, so that'll help.
Dope.
That doesn't add to the DC that it has to make.
Yeah,
Right,
I'm
so
just thinking about these like angry rants that Thoricus goes on, and I'm getting all pumped up and worked up too as I'm focusing on Holy Basin.
You kind of tap into the...
What'd you say?
I don't do that. I don't do that.
I don't get angry.
The chillest
What are
guy.
you talking about?
I don't do that.
All right, Tynna, here we go. So he is going to get a saving throw. DC 16. You are familiar, so there's no negative modifier there, and you don't have anything of his possession. All right, so it's pretty straightforward. It's going to be a DC 16 saving throw. I actually have his stats. Give me a moment. I'm sorry. I didn't have them ready, but I have them. And this is the song that we sing while we find stats.
Beep, 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 boop. Beep, beep, boop, boop, beep, beep, boop, beep, beep, boop, beep, beep, boop, beep, beep, boop. That song is called Spanish Fleet.
Thank you.
There we go. Okay, sweet. So he has a +2. It is not a saving throw he is proficient in. So just +2 to this. He needs to beat a 16. I'm going to take the blinder off because this is a fun one.
Yeah.
So here we go. He needs to roll a 14 or better to beat a 16. Not great for you, but I mean for him, us as a team.
I was excited, and then I realized.
I'm glad I had the blinder off. It's always good when you can. It's like that's the one thing that sucks about GM rolls when they're dark. It's like I see it and I don't get to share that. All right, so here's dope though, because it's got to be Shalefist. So Tynna, you start focusing the energies. You hear the heartbeat through Rial as you try to attune to this magic, calling upon your strong divine energy in conjunction with this holy water within this church. You call upon Eternus. You reach to the Golden Lady. You start reaching through, and you see a pinpoint of light start opening up in the waters before you. And you see similarly as you start to notice the inside of the same bar that you saw him in last time. Remember in the scrying pools, you witnessed him and Ular in a bar. Him just leaning up on a bar, sitting there, his big giant two-handed great axe just leaned against the side. Tynna, even though you know time has passed, it is as if he has not moved from the spot, other than a pile of empty glasses that are just built up next to him. And so it's like you still haven't seen him yet, just this giant pile of empty glasses with foam just spilling out of them all over the floor of this dwarven-style bar. And as the picture starts poking up, you see he just kind of turns over. You see his gray long hair, his many braids. He has multiple gilded braids of his hair and beard. His armor is gleamed with the signs of the Stone Reavers and the armies of Emerella. You see he's got them branded all over his armor. And he just turns around and you see he grabs a glass and just throws it at the little orb of light. You just see the glass and a spray of beer, and you can almost taste the beer in the water, but the spell he just waves it off. He does cost your spell slot. Unfortunately, you do not get to spy. Other than the fact he's still in that dwarven bar, wherever he was the last time.
Okay, well, at least I know that. Well, I'm glad. Thank you for accompanying me here, Rial. But I think I've got what I need from this place. Unless you would like to have a moment yourself, maybe we should head back with the rest of the group.
Oh, of course. Thank you for your ever-present consideration. The touch of the Green Lady got a little bit of that, and I must say, good choice.
You're too kind.
Yeah,
Yes.
compared to your former god. It's just like a nightmare creature. Just all chained up.
Things are a little better.
Kill your brother. All right.
But yes,
Yeah.
if you'd like to rejoin our friends,
Yeah, I think so.
let's do it.
So yeah, you guys kind of, Thoricus, did you do your investigation check? The extra one granted you by Rial. So you hear the custom of, again, Rial, never having a mother, he leaned upon the knowledge of his father.
The old gambling drunk father, always to be trusted.
The only thing you had, definitely didn't have a mom.
Nope.
So yeah, you hear the proto. Oh my god!
Let's drink water. Drink water. Hydrated.
Fucking beautiful. Yeah, crit sip, guy. Oof! Look at those double greens, baby. All right, roll 20's like we gonna get you high tonight. Ooh, baby. Ooh, crit sip. All right. You guys kind of, Thoricus, the words, just ring in your head. Again, Rial's just, it's, even in this moment where you're by yourself, your buddy's always with you. He's always got your back. And he sends you this proverb of his father's. And you just kind of like, just step your foot on the ground. Sounds like there may be a hollow beneath. Thoricus, roll me 1d100.
Hey!
You guys have fought so much stuff. I'm just like, let me give you some treasure.
This worked out so great for me the last time. I don't even remember what happened the last time.
You got that
What
little.
did I get the last
You got a little gemstone.
You got a fancy ruby. You got the
Oh,
pooples.
yeah.
The jet and pooples.
Yeah, the jet.
The jet.
The black gem. Yeah.
I wonder if it fits in that plate at all.
Are you kidding me?
What the fuck?
Yeah, baby. Welcome to the club, my dude.
What happened? Oh, am I lagging? What's happening?
You're Thoricus.
Holy
Broke it, my guy.
Oh no!
You won D&D.
You rolled 100.
What?
What does this mean? Last time this happened, everything ended.
Oh my god, yeah.
Now it's gonna be night forever.
I have to turn some pages.
Do I know Kung Fu?
Oh no, these aren't. It's past these.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh,
my
sorry,
God.
past those.
Oh my goodness.
Let's go do something.
So this is why we roll for magic items, guys, because D&D is a game full of magic. And Thoricus, following your concept, like surely something must have been left. Roll. You get one more of these. Roll me one more 1d100.
Oh.
Just call
my
it
God.
magic intuition.
I'm scared.
Oh my gosh, I can't
I don't
believe
know what that
we
is,
just had.
but-
Look at that, 20, 20, 100. That is freaking amazing. Oh,
You,
what gives you a one?
wait, so one
Honestly,
more?
there's not a
One
bad
more?
number on this, so there is no bad. All of this is good.
38.
Finally, a reasonable roll.
I know, my God.
Each eye look.
I don't know. I don't like that. Roll again. This was. It's not as. It's like weird. I don't know. I just roll.
I'm weird.
Yeah, veto.
Yeah.
Veto.
Let's say I never give it.
There we go.
Yeah, you son of a bitch.
Still spicy.
Holy shit, Drew.
We'll take,
Or a crit.
we'll take
All right, I have to see what this is.
Yeah, we did need to beat out that 38, but now.
Yeah, 98 degrees.
Thoricus. Oh my gosh.
And Joe did.
What is this?
DeFito? No.
Danny DeFito.
All right, Thoricus.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the face he just made.
Yeah, this is like. This is dope.
Oh, someone's taking notes. Cause I'm high as fuck.
I got you, boo.
Thanks, baby.
I'm pretty sure there's a record of it.
Thoricus, you
Yeah.
pull back the boards of the bottom of this room. You know, this place where you know they had kept the last of their goods as their time ran out. And you feel the hollow pull away the board, and you see laying in front of you a platinum book set with gilded etchings all over the front of it, runes and scrawled plants, amethyst gemstones set upon each of the corners of the book. Hefty. You think it would take days to read this book. I'm just going to tell you what it is. You know, obviously, dang. The book lets you know when you touch it. This is the Tome of Clear Thought, Thoricus. If you spend 48 hours reading this book, your intelligence goes up by 2.
No, that sounds exhausting. I don't want it.
And then the book loses its magic. For a century. A century later, it can be used again.
Whoa!
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow.
Wait,
So you imagine
Only
whoever
100
had
years?
put it there had used it, but since then, it recharged.
I
Dude,
got
that's-
at least another 200 left in me, baby.
That's hot.
Yeah.
No, you guys still have treasure rolls back at your ship and stuff, but this is just that was just that was a little bit of awesome real
Holy shit, that's really
roleplay
cool. That's a
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh,
Damn.
yeah.
Bonus homework.
I mean, that would help with we keep having other checks, man.
Yo, we did the extra credit, and Drew like aced it.
Yeah, you can be our social studies teacher.
Just give me 48
crazy.
hours. I will answer every question you have.
Excuse me, Mr. Onyxheart. Can we go?
Professor.
Start over.
Is it Mr. or Doctor? Dr. Onyxheart?
Dr.
Ooh,
Onyx.
yeah.
That's
Yo,
Doctor.
I am not. I see him with that big ass book, and I see how exhausted he is just looking at it, and I realize, thank God, Bruenor's here. Everybody who needs to breathe can, but some people need to sleep, and they might not want to sleep underwater, and I'm aware of that. So I plunge my hands into the ground. Then, the green room up out of the floor.
Dope. Yes, Divot, you call upon the magic of Tiny Hut, and you bring about your bone smoking room. You know, you see the bone corners and stretched green fabrics, almost, you know, like it's got like hanging blankets and like a little harem. The bone pipe that you used when last you were there, sitting waiting for you on the counter this time. You do notice that as the ball of magic creates this pocket space, the water is pushed away, and you guys are all standing. As you're sitting inside of the room, you are dry, or not dry. You're wet still, but the water's gone. So you're kind of at first you're like dripping all over the many scarves and blankets on the floor, and then you see the magic just kind of sponges the water out as you all kind of dry magically in real time inside of the
I light
smoke
up
room.
immediately.
Green room.
It's been so wet down here.
All right, so the minute that it takes to cast the spell goes by with nothing. Again, this civilization doesn't seem like there's monsters, or again, it's like strangely devoid of life other than that strange spectral person that you, some of you experienced in the library. You guys are all kind of crammed into the dome, and don't worry, Brian Fitz. That's the rule that I have made, and I will apologize for nothing. So yes, you're all kind of crammed in. Again, it's tight quarters, but you know, at this point, 2 of you don't even need to sleep. But yeah, you guys are in the smoke room. You see, Divot gathers this pocket dimension for you guys, and you're all kind of cramped up in this little comfortable. But you know, Brian certainly takes up a pretty large amount of space in your little bubble. Yeah, it's like you're all sitting in a tent a little bit together. And what do you do?
So I need to nap for like a little bit. So if I could just like do a quick nap, I will, with the Bryman, I will vacate and he and I will head out and hang out underwater.
All of
Easily
you.
peasily.
Yeah, all of you resters get some rest, and me and Rial will have a few drinks with my old buddy.
That
Yeah.
sounds great. I'm tired.
Nice.
We'll keep y'all safe.
Thank
The bloody magus, the barkeeper that you killed, is still just sitting there inside, like, aha, damn it. Just that, it's, again, you always see him, but nobody else does. And
I can't see him.
Yeah, so you guys are kind of gathered up. So, Bruenor, yeah, you trance, you're an elf, so you have 4 hours. If you wanted to attune to anything, you could. If you want to, like, attune to the gauntlet, that would be gauntlet, sword, shield. So you have 3 items you can attune to.
No, you
so-
automatically tune to
No,
it.
yeah, you were
I think
already.
I automatically attuned to it. Right?
Yeah. Right? Oh yeah, no, that was part of the thing. Yeah, the transference. So and that's your 3 though, right? It's your sword, the Angelo Blade of the Keeper, the Maiden's Bort, and the Gauntlet.
Those
Correct?
are my
Doesn't
feet.
matter. You already said it. Instantly fucking attuned. You
Boom.
take it back.
Boom.
Don't try and
No
fucking change the
Boom.
things now.
Yeah, no take backsies.
No, yeah, so you just need a trance. It's fine. She was going to do it during the trance anyway.
Baby.
Yeah.
Don't fight me.
Is
All right.
everybody all
Right.
tapped out on magic-ease?
Yes.
What? What is that?
Huh?
Like, I don't get any more magic items. I'm tapped out. I think Bruenor is tapped out. I'm pretty sure. I don't want to speak for anybody, but I think we're all tapped out, right?
Yeah, you might start reaching that point where you have to like choose.
I just want to make sure none of y'all are mad at me for giving that belt to Brian.
Oh no.
Oh no, he needs it.
Yeah, he'll attune to it in this 4 hours.
Cool.
Which brings me, there you go. So you see Brian as he takes his nap at your feet, Bruenor, and you guys start your trance. It's almost as you rest, you notice Brian getting a little buffer.
Uh-oh.
Like the muscles in his body, taking on more of a draconic shape than the crocodile, the crocodile ancestry in his blood. You see, he
looks
gets
like he could
pretty
use a snack.
swolled up. Bruenor, this is a belt of stone giant strength.
Oh.
So Brian's strength now becomes a 23.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That was, of course, one of your rewards for slaying the dragon Exoneus. But that'll help a lot with his bites and claw attacks.
Yeah.
That would be the same as having a plus, let's see, 20 is plus 5, plus 6. So we'll do probably 3 or 4 more damage per bite. I can double check that, but yeah, his strength is now 23.
Cool.
You see he has the strength of a stone giant.
Nice. I still curl up on him like I always used to. Get up in him and get up in his nooks and crannies, and I get up in there and
Get your trance on.
Mm-hmm.
Trance out. All right, so Bruenor, in your trance, you find the meditative state that you attune to that grants you that rest. You ruminate almost on the thought of your sister, if only to take away her power to make you so angry, and so it's almost in this meditative state. You just allow the thoughts of her to be there, and you allow yourself not to engage with them, and that's kind of the mental fortitude of your trance experience, and that's the rest that is granted you, is perhaps a little bit of an edge off of the anger that she is so easily incites within you. You also, like I said, you're attuned to the gauntlet. You already were attuned to it. You already did. It was before, but still, it's relevant now. Brian is also attuned to the belt of stone giant strength. So, what about my other resters? Who else needs to sleep? That's, I think, Thoricus, Tynna, right?
I need to sleep. Yeah, I'm conking out. I just want to cuddle up somewhere. I know there's not a lot of space, but I want to find my own little square.
You don't take up a lot of space.
Yeah, I am a little
You're a
itty bitty
little
thing. I
thing.
just want to sleep. I want to
Yeah.
conk out.
Yeah, as Divot has created this space, it's a nice, it's pretty much this magic dome that we've allowed him to flavor with a hookah lounge vibe. You grab a couple beaded pillows and pull up some blankets for yourself. You post up on the ground. Again, you guys aren't in a hostile area right now. Nothing is seeking to attack you. So the ins and outs of this pocket dimension is fine with me. Whenever you want to leave, you just go back into water is something to consider. Bruenor, you might need to read up the water breathing spell. Sweet. So yes, Tynna and Thoricus, you're both able to find places to rest. Had you anything that you wish to do before engaging in rest?
I'm actually not going to rest. I'm just gonna go around the library and learn how to read.
Oh.
Ooh, you're gonna read the book.
Well, hopefully. I mean, I've got 8 hours. You said it only took 48, so I only have another 40 hours after my rest that I should have taken.
Okay.
So...
I'll allow you, in this case, if you wanted to, and this is up to you, obviously, but if you want to take a short rest, take the 1 hour to do a short rest, and then use the rest of the 7 hours of the spell to do the read, to take off time off that book, I'm cool with that. Or if you want to use all 8 hours reading the book, I'm absolutely fine with that as well.
So if I take all 8 hours...
You got a speed read, bro.
I was going to say, if I take all 8 hours... not give me the book?
Oh, I'm sorry, you cut out a little bit right there. What was that?
Of course I did. It was important.
Right?
No, I said if I forego the short rest, and does that get me the book?
It's really the only thing. If you forego the short rest, you'll get 1 more hour of the 48 hours that you need. That's it. So if you want to just take 1 hour to do the short rest, you'll still only get 7 hours off the 48 that you need. But I'm just saying, you're also welcome to, if you would like to, just use a short rest in that time, and then take 7 hours off of the 48 that you need to learn the true understanding.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay, sweet. So if you, that means any hit dice that you have, if you want to use hit dice to heal up, you can. Some of your fighter abilities, things like Second Wind and Action Surges recharge. I'm pretty sure that your Battlemaster charges also do, but I'm not sure. I might have to double check.
I don't think that I've used it, really.
Oh, that's right, yeah, because you were going to use Riposte, but it didn't end up hitting you. That's right.
I've used one, so... Yeah.
Okay.
Is there any way I can give him a boost? Because I feel like out of habit, I start to trance before I realize I don't need it anymore. Mm-hmm. And then kind of see what he's doing, so...
Yeah, Real, you've got your walkie-talkie connection, this long mental link between the two of you. With you not needing 8 hours, you need, I think, I'm sorry, I have to double check the Revenant. I think you need to spend like an hour or something pondering.
Just being chill.
Just being chill.
Yeah, so I would say similarly, you could do as such as well. You could, because you don't. I mean, you would still get your you'd get your long rest in an hour. So you would have 7 hours left. I would allow you to add that to Thoricus. So it's like you sit next to him, and it's like like when you're teaching a child shapes. You're like, that Thoricus is the rune of Amnir, and then he's like, oh, thanks, and he's like learning really fast, and you just watch his intelligence just growing in real time in front of you, and it's amazing. And you're just so proud and inspired by their progress. It's a beautiful montage.
That's where I just like kind of bleed in the fact that I'm like, I'm dead now, but it's okay. Just kind of between lessons, like it's fine, it's okay. I'm still here. I'm still your best friend.
He's dead. I'm Timmy.
I'm just your dead best friend.
So I should replace the guilt with intelligence. Okay.
Fill that guilt void with smacks. All right, so yeah, Thoricus. Again, Real, you guys have that connection. He again lived in the Cloister of Trees, is adept at sagely books, and with his assistance, you get to knock another 7 hours off of your reading time.
Ooh. You want to do karate in the garage?
Let's read together. Just like the idea, the optics of that. All right, so that would be Real. Thoricus, so go ahead, like I said, short rest, feel free. Real, you get the benefit of the long rest in that hour of time. And so you get your spells back, you heal back to full, and all of any of your rogue abilities that have things reset.
What a beautiful thing.
Divot similarly, Tynna, with you fall into slumber pretty quickly. You find your dream strangely absent of the lady. You have felt so in the forefront of her thoughts as you have taken the recent steps in your journey, and again, it's she's not mad at you. You would sense it were she, but there is a sense of distance between you two just in this moment now. Perhaps you just rest and pray to her. She will bestow you with her light, of course. But she's like, we had a chance to do something, and we didn't do that thing. And so again, not angry, and totally understands because she is the Green Lady. But at that same time, like it's not like she's like sitting there handing you spell slots.
Yeah, and I have, my dreams are really odd and misshapen and weird colored, and it doesn't feel angry, but yeah, I'm left to ponder.
Tynna, you rest the full 8 hours and reflect upon these thoughts of the lady. Divot, what about you? How do you want to spend this long rest?
Yeah, I see how everybody's making really good use of their time, and that's just lost on me because I just sit here and have drinks with this ghost that I'm friends with.
Yeah, you see Magnus is thrilled to have you back, and he's like, have you killed any other bartenders? And he's just...
none like you, my friend, please.
Yeah, ever happy to have you back. Divot, you... Again, there is something to the way that you release that, to an outsider may seem... like you just kind of brush it aside, but it is this ability of yours to kind of process these extreme events in such a way that gives you probably the quality of the death that attracted to in the first place. And so as you sit there with your actual blood demons sitting with you at the bar, knocking down drinks and smoking pipes from the skeletal bar, you can't help but look upon your resting allies and how far removed from them you are. Tynna's need for a full night's sleep, even though at one point, the two of you, half sister, half brother, you share a lineage through Shren Oldbuck. But it's like, as you look at her now, it's, you feel like you're two different species because you are, and so, you kind of look upon the end of the trance of Bruenor and Brian, as they kind of resolve their moment. And you see, you've watched now the prince sitting on the throne, head in hand, heavy the weight of the decisions, and the freedom that she in turn restored to her people, a freedom that she learned to admire being with you. And so it's like, again, you're kind of watching as like what the last of your living life did until you kind of became this element of undeath, and the lines that connect all of you in between, looking over at Rial as he, kind of like helps turn the pages for Thoricus so they can cram for 14 hours of knowledge as they look at this magical relic, a bond that's grown between the two of them, a life energy that now you and Rial share. So, that's your fading thoughts through your experience as you share drinks with the bloody outline of Magus.
Yeah, I'm about to clock in for the long shift, so I'm gonna have a drink with my friends, even if they're just sleeping while I do it.
You kind of cheers around the room. You see Bruenor kind of comes out of her meditative trance. Bruenor, you and Brian have about 4 hours.
Noise. What are you doing over there, buddy? You drinking alone?
Yep.
Do you want to drink alone with a friend?
I look Magnus right in the eye when I say it. Like, yep.
His feelings are hurt. You hear it in his brogue. Oh.
Do you want to drink alone with a friend?
Yeah. Can I get my ghost buddy to pour them? But it looks like I'm doing magic.
Yeah, absolutely, you can.
Wow, that's so impressive.
You see just these like wine bottles just kind of pour for you. You've been underwater for so long that it's hard for you to just like move your body parts, and you know what I mean. Like you're not floating in the unrestraining waters. It's like, oh yeah, this is what it's like to be on land. And so you see these glasses poured for you and offered to a friend.
So Divot, you know that saying, blood is thicker than water?
Yeah.
Well, that's not really how it goes. The real saying is, the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. So, I don't know, I have this sister out there and she, officially finding out, has done some real bad stuff. But I feel closer to you guys than I think I've ever been close to anybody. So I feel like the blood of this covenant, no matter what we are or who we are, is thicker than anything else, you know?
That's beautiful.
What's beautiful?
Oh yeah. What?
Oh, the ghost is rolling a blunt.
Some of the stuff, the stash from under the shelf.
Oh, and I remember, like, first things first after that, I want to kiss everybody on their forehead to reactivate their just
I'm
a
not
quick,
gonna
like,
lie,
oh.
Bruenor. I was really looking forward to the bubble like popping and then everybody being like, and you having to swim around and kiss their heads.
Water rushing in like a nightmare. Yeah, no, like a Titanic.
Nah,
yeah,
but
no,
you
thank you.
did.
No.
You did
no,
it right.
No submarine deaths for us.
You did it right.
No, I go around real quick with the drink in my hand. I go, oh, 1 second. And I just go like smooch, smooch, smooch on everyone's forehead. Smooch, kiss, kiss, kiss.
At the end of your rest, you all feel the wet kiss of Bruenor, the serpent, on your forehead. You know, it smells a little bit of the drink that her and Divid have shared. It arouses you from your respective slumbers as you share the end of this long rest together. You know, it's the, again, Brian fits. So, you know, you're all in there. Everybody's in there. Brian's looking buff. You see maybe his voice has been changed by his muscles. We'll see.
Aww.
We'll see. We'll see. You let me think on that. Don't force my hand here. But yeah, you guys, so you've resolved, Tynna, you get your spell slots back. You know, again, like I said, the lady is, you know, she's still filling you with your power. Her eye is not, she's not, no ire turned upon you. It's just, you know, she just needs a minute. You know, it's like, just give me a minute, give me a minute. Okay. So she's, you know, she just needs a little time. The rest of you all come from your slumber, thanks to the magics of Divid's tiny hut. You guys all kind of resolve a long rest here. Any questions on any of this stuff? I know some of you got new abilities and everything. I just want to make sure that that's all.
I casually lobby that we just start calling it the hut instead of the tiny hut.
Yeah, the hut. I'm so down with that. Yeah. I'm not much of a drawer, but I might be able to make something for that. That's cool. Maybe I'll draw that. Maybe I'll draw that, he said.
Ooh. Ooh.
The wee little hut.
Maybe I'll draw
the
that.
stub hub.
The hut.
Stub hub. The shrub hub.
Oh.
Oh.
All right, so you guys kind of, you know, the law. So you're nearing the end of the magic. You all know that once this kind of pocket is removed, you'll be back underwater once more in the city of Emerella. I'm basically, so we're pretty close to wrapping it up. So I'm just curious. That's just so I can help paint the picture correctly. What's your plan from here?
I think to heal up because maybe we've been going ham, right, Winnie? And maybe get back to like a ship and then go to Nobbledeer next, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I need. I don't need more than that. You know what I mean? Like just as long as we're all on the same page.
Same page.
You know. So, all right, you guys have kind of come out of the long rest, you know, experience. Your hit points again. If you got the long rest, if you did your, you know, Bruenor, you did your trance, Brian as well. You're healed back to full. Now remember, hit dice only recover. You only get half of your hit dice back. So however many you've used, you only get half of them back each time you take a long rest. Thoricus, you were able to knock out 14 hours off the 48 hours required to get the knowledge contained within the book, the Tome of Understanding, of Clear Thought. And yes, you guys now, as the magics of the tiny hut fade away, of the hut fade away. You feel the cold, icy waters of the ocean wash over you once more. Bruenor, Brian, no big shock for you guys. You in fact probably prefer it this way, but for the rest of you, it's a return to an environment that's not your best. You kind of gather together and start heading up toward the top of the circle, expecting to find the great looming shape of the Kraken once more. And when you get to the top, you look out across the ivory and emerald peaks of the city of Emerella, you notice that his floating form is gone. You look.
I hope Phil's okay.
Set him free, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, alive when last you saw him. So that's worth something.
Love you, Phil.
Yeah, you don't see a big corpse. So that's good.
Well, yeah.
But yes, the primordial Phil McCracken
nightmare.
that had a fake corrupted tummy ache has, for at least for now, has kind of dipped out from this scenario. You see around you the ivory roadways and streets of the city of Emerella. You even see an occasional stone person just kind of walking around. The idea of life hasn't quite fit perfectly yet. It's like they're still kind of just sauntering around to try to get an idea of what it is they're going to do with their respective lives. But you see beyond them the bustling dock of the city of Emerella, where emissaries and visitors from far and wide would come. Where you parked the Queen Anne and left Toko the hatchet watching guard over your loots and valuables, and you're able to go down through the streets with no affair. You see some stone people wandering around. As you would expect in this current moment. It's still kind of a big shock.
Oh God, I kissed Toko on the forehead.
Yeah, you see the boat. You see Toko kind of standing out there, like looking around at this about 1,000 stone people. Yeah, he's like, and just as you jump, you kiss his forehead, and he breathes the clean air. The clean water, as it were, of the city of Emerella, or of Elmira. All right, so you guys are back to your ship. You do notice that one of the Navy ships that was parked near where you guys were is gone. So perhaps that the drowned hounds left, and they apparently left you the Queen Anne. So that's, you guys have that ship now to plot your course to. The Kraken that got you here super quickly is gone. So there will be some time involved in that travel, but there's also great rewards that wait within the captain's den of the Queen Anne, the many treasures of Captain Creefus and the Drowned Hounds, as well as your gathered treasures and riches from your battles. We're gonna hit those next time, though. We'll go over what all that stuff is as we continue our saga and head toward the city of Emerella. Holy crap, dudes!
Wow.
Nomble deer.
That's right. That's right. Nomble deer. No, I knew what I was gonna say. No, holy crap, dudes! Woo! Yes.
Woo.
All right, guys. Holy shit. Thank you guys so much for hanging with us tonight. That was a freaking awesome sesh. We are getting ready to take this thing to Nomble Deer, the showdown of many things. Tynna and Divot's father is there. The Luck Blade is there. Vegeta Shalefist is there. It's like there's a lot of stuff hanging out in that city. So I can't wait to see it, guys. Holy crap. Thanks for hanging with us. Today is kind of an extremely magical special day for me, and I just wanted to take a second to say it is my 7-year anniversary with Stephanie, who is running the friggin' studio right now because she's amazing and incredible, and I love her very much. Stephanie is literally like the rock that makes all of this possible. Like, I couldn't do any of this stuff without her, and she is the best thing that ever happened to me in my entire life, and I love her so much. And we're gonna keep doing. We'll be playing D&D for the rest of our lives, and I can't wait. And I love you. So guys, thank you so much. Thanks to my friends. I fucking love you guys so much. Obviously I love Stephanie, and I'm gonna kiss her very much after this. So don't message me. I fucking love you guys. Thank you, buds, for hanging out. We got us a little ritual we like to do around here. Maybe you've heard about it. Maybe you haven't. We like to take a lighter like this guy right here. Make sure we're not gonna light any of our friends, family, or household pets on fire, and go. Light us up. Fucking love you, buds. And I love you, Stephanie. I love you. Shut up. No, you shut up. I love her.
I'm smoking the love, baby. Smoking the love.
Oh yeah, I'll smoke the love.
Smoke this love. Smoke love.
government.